Unified Track and Field was an outgrowth of our partnership with Special Olympics Indiana. The Student Advisory Committee of the IHSAA, they partnered with Special Olympics as their ongoing service project, and what the association is trying to do is provide an opportunity for young people to learn about servant leadership.
At the time this was formed, I was serving as an educational consultant to the IHSAA, which is a kind of a fancy term for I was working with the Student Advisory Committee. And they'd been challenged by the commissioner to come up with some servant leadership type project, and he asked me to work with them and find out what that might look like, and the kids did a great job and came back and said, we think we'd be a perfect match for Special Olympics.
When we received the invitation, we thought we'd won. We knew Special Olympics being sports and being the best of sports would provide a tremendous alignment for student leaders who are looking to live out their dreams as well.
When I first heard about the Unified Track and Field events, there's a sense of excitement and chills and inspiration, some feelings that I've never even felt before.
That's something that's really near and dear to our heart. We all try to get involved in our schools by setting things up with Special Olympics.
And when they finish, they look up to their parents and smile and cheer, and then the crowd cheers for them. It gets you.
First time I heard about Unified Track was through Champions Together, and we had the opportunity to meet Lee Lonzo, and he told my husband and I and Mitch about their idea and what they were going to be doing, and they were looking for somebody to talk and be a spokesperson for them. And it happened that they interviewed Mitch, and Mitch would be the person. So Mitch was extremely excited about this opportunity to be able to do sports with his colleagues in high school.
Well, when I first started, it gave me encouragement and strength, and I really want to pass on that encouragement and strength to other people and make sure they know that if you give your best on the field, that's what matters most.
And I saw my brother in high school, my freshman year, and he had friends who were athletes, and he had friends all around, and I felt so happy to have that for him and for myself to be able to be friends with all sorts of different people. And I think it has made a difference because people are aware of Special Olympics, and people are aware of kids who have special needs and how they can be the same as all of us and they can have the same opportunities.
And that's what I've learned through competing with Special Olympics and Unified Track. And I want to share with the athletes, show them that they can do it, even though they don't think they always can.
We're getting a lot of positive feedback from parents of the students with intellectual disabilities, because now there's something in their school that they didn't have before. And those parents look to try to include their students in activities where they're not going to be ostracized and they're not going to be made fun of. And now we have these inclusive behaviors being exhibited all over the state.
The miracle has been growth. The miracle has been the notion that there are now students with special needs in high schools all over Indiana who have a chance to be a part of their school team, a chance to possibly win a varsity letter, a chance even to win a trophy or a medal representing an IHSAA championship. Those possibilities were so far removed just 5 years ago that it's simply amazing to watch the competition and the programs develop today.
And so the parents are coming to us and telling us what a wonderful opportunity this is. Our school principals are coming back to us and telling us that it's changing the culture within their school. It's changing the ideas that it's not just these youngsters that are at the end of the hallway, that sit by themselves at the lunch table, that ride on the short bus, all those stereotypes. Now these are students that are in the mainstream. They are participating in their high school as full students. They walk down the hallways with pride. They're being recognized by all students. That's what the high school experience is supposed to be about. We need to be more inclusive. We need to be more welcoming and understanding that everybody in their life, whether they be regular ed students, intellectually challenged students, they all have challenges, and we need to be inclusive of our behaviors and recognize that and be supportive of that.
one of the very first schools I went to, I presented to about 15 kids, all IHSAA athletes, and I asked one of those kids that same question. I said, "You're busy, you're involved. Why are you taking time for one more thing?" And she said, "Because I want to be part of the inclusion revolution." And that became kind of a hashtag for what we're doing here in Indiana called Champions Together. They really are excited about making their schools more inclusive, more respectful, nicer places for everybody to be. And I tell you, it warms my heart to know that we got a next generation that cares like that. Makes me feel good.
Unified Track has really brought everyone together, and in our school, the inclusion movement it's been coming really closer. We've all gotten really close. It's just great to feel included.
The Inclusion Revolution, as it's called, is part of the whole Champions Together mantra, the partnership between the IHSAA and Special Olympics. So there are rallies, there are speeches, there are convocations for the students to all come together to hear a message of inclusion. Include people who are not like them, no matter what like them means. And so it includes primarily people with disabilities, but it can go across the board to say, I'm going to make an agreement to see that they are my fellow students, they're my fellow classmates, they are my fellow citizens in this world. And then part of that is that they will sign a banner that says, I promise that I will have this kind of thinking. I will think this way to include my fellow classmates.
The best part of Champions Together and the Unified Track competition is that it's not different than Special Olympics. The same spirit of competition, the same spirit of camaraderie, the willingness to cheer for people regardless of their abilities has translated perfectly into an IHSAA setting through Champions Together. We now see our athletes affecting high school varsity athletes in ways that bring out the best in both of them.